approved over the original package by Paulson
The core of it is still Paulson.
The core of it is the same, but we added a lot of things that Congressman Frank told you that he cares about. We added oversight. You can't deny that we did that.
We don't have any idea.
Guys, let's not have a whole fragmented thing here, and let's not block the hallway, because then these guys don't like it. So step over here, and we can have a conversation. But they're trying really hard to answer all these phone calls, so if there's a noisy meeting going on, that becomes very difficult. So I'm just telling you that. Wait, hang on just a second, okay? I'm Peter Kovar, I'm the chief of staff here, and so I'm glad to meet with everybody, and we can talk about whatever you want. So I just want to sit, and we're just out here because there's a ton of phone calls ringing constantly, and if we have loud discussions, then they can't do that.
So the bottom line for us is that the
can I just ask where everybody's from?
all over Arlington, Texas.
Columbia, Missouri.
San Diego, New Orleans, Texas, America.
Okay.
You guys live around here, though. There's a house, right?
Yeah, Barney Frank's district.
Actually, I don't have a house anymore. It was part of the original wave of foreclosures.
No, I mean the group here. I mean not.
Oh.
We're getting off the topic. So are you?
I mean, we're representing millions of people, as you well know, and basically we have received into Paul's proposal to plunder the taxpayers to bail out Wall Street. I can't believe that there aren't more restrictions, that there aren't alternative proposals that are being considered, but actually taking Paulson's proposal and hanging on, what seems to us just empty.
Well, I mean, I think the concern was that obviously people will differ on this, but that there was a need to do something pretty quickly in order to safeguard the broader economy. And some people will think we didn't need to go that quickly. Congressman Frank and many others felt we did, and then within that, within those constraints, that this was a way of doing it that would make sense. Now, I'm not going to say that everybody's going to agree with it. I don't even know what the final vote will be like. I think there's some support for it in both the Democratic and Republican parties. I don't know what the final vote will be.
Well, the process really stinks. I mean, this is our taxpayer money. We couldn't even get into the website last night when we were trying to get on it. It crashed. We had to come in here and get it now. People haven't had a chance to read this, to digest it, to contact their congressperson to say how they feel about it. I mean, the people have got it last night.
People have certainly been contacting us. I mean,
but we
and what are they saying?
The final thing till right now. And the Congress people didn't see it till yesterday. What kind of system is that for $700 billion? It's insane.
I mean,
And the sky hasn't fallen in, by the way.
And the free market, we go around the world preaching the virtues of the free market.
Well, Congressman Frank thinks we need more regulation of Wall Street. But what happens if, are you going to film the entire thing and without even mentioning that to begin with?
I've been standing here filming it the whole time.
Talking to her. But what I was going to say is that let's say this works and there's no significant downside in the stock market, so then you can't prove a negative. You can't run a controlled experiment. You can't say, let's do this here and do that there. So if it's successful, then I suppose people against it will say, see, there's no need to do it. That's fine. But obviously,
why are we propping up the same institutions that have unsuccessfully managed our money and our mortgage loans and everything else? Why are we propping up institutions that have created systems and processes that have undermined the financial system?
I understand what you're saying. I think there's a difference of opinion. The difference of opinion being not the propping up, but the difference of opinion being that because of the urgent situation.
Nobody will buy those assets. That's the problem. That's the problem that we're being told. So the American people are being asked to buy bad assets. Why is that a win-win for us?
There's a difference of opinion as to how serious the potential downside of it is if nothing's done quickly.
Why isn't it a crisis that 47 million people don't have health care? Is that not a crisis that deserves
are you going to say that Congressman Frank hasn't worked hard in his whole career?
Well, why is he giving away $700 billion
now
in this crisis?
An alternative.
We don't really care. We care more about uninsured Americans and people's health care than we care about Wall Street gambling.
Let's think outside the box here for a minute. We've got $700 million we're willing to borrow on the back of the taxpayers. Let's invest in the taxpayers and all those incredible programs that we have.
Have you been in touch with your own members of Congress?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they're being pushed by
Mine
the
doesn't have
leadership
a vote.
to vote in favor of this.
No, I think every member's going to vote.
Oh, no. Mr. Waxman definitely would vote against
Well,
this bill.
we just want to say we thought Barney Frank.
Well, what does that mean? He definitely would vote against it if what?
If he wasn't pressured by the leadership, pressured by the
every
Democratic Party.
Congress will.
And he knows he's a shoo-in in November, and he doesn't have any fears of that.
bitter pill, you know.
And what about all the blue dog Democrats that cry about the financial system, and then all of a sudden they're voting in favor of this? That makes no sense whatsoever, does it?
Well, we're nationalizing industries, we nationalize the oil industry.
If they think that there's a really serious problem, then
Well, they also negotiated capital gains tax, they also
no, I think
negotiated more corporate.
that there's a serious problem that we need to take quick action on. Others will obviously disagree with that, but
Why does at least 80% of America, everybody in my district, I went around for 1 week and talked to people, and nobody is afraid of anything right now. Nobody. And
Did you read Paul Krugman's column on Friday? Let me just briefly say, I mean, he basically said that, look, there is some chance that if this thing is not done, that it will not affect walls, it will not affect Main Street terribly, but there is a huge risk that it would, and given the stakes, this is something we cannot afford to risk.
He also said, I'm sorry. Then let the community banks that are actually doing better now because people are investing in their community banks because they have no faith in the larger banks, invest in those banks instead of bailing out the incompetent, greedy mega structures that have been created through this corruption.
Was that in other countries where this has happened, nationalization of the banks is what bailed them out, and probably is the most sure way of fixing this problem.
i.e. the fourth
So you agree there's a problem, you just disagree on the
But the commercial banks got mixed up with the investment banks, and now all the speculation touches our savings and pension funds and everything else. If we want to save the economy, save the good economy, which is all the little people, the healthcare, and all of the pension funds, why don't you bolster FDIC, give it more money to bail out people's savings, let the speculators fail. They earned their failure.
And National Bank.
I'd like to ask what the callers are saying.
a range of things, obviously.
Well,
come on.
That's not what I've heard.
Give us a sketch.
My congressman took
This
his
is the one
phone off.
thing that has unified the left and the right. I've never had an issue where our relatives, right-wing Republicans, totally agree with us on this issue.
I stood the other day with College Public Trustee
Not only that,
And they
let
also
me ask
agree
you a
let the
question.
market run its
I
course.
talked to a
But they
woman-
also said.
We should all continue.
I talked to a woman the other day who said she lost $50,000 in the market, right? Then I asked her, over the last 10 years, how much have you made on market? And she stopped, and she thought about it, and she made $350,000. Did she lose $350,000? She lost $50,000.
Well, I think that the reality is...
At this point, she made $300,000.
The big question is, and this is ultimately unknowable because none of us can predict the future, is how serious is the potential risk that something really catastrophic would happen. And I think that's right, but...
We've heard it all before. Try wolf on Iraq.
That's the problem.
On AIG.
And so this shouldn't be shoved down our throats in the last shutdown.
People who do believe it, then they should take action
If
according to
you're
what they
scared, why would you put all the power in the Bush administration?
Yeah, really, the Fox.
At least take the power away from him and be it part of...
Makes you, the Democrats, look so bad.
Incompetent and
Our heroes
self-serving Secretary Treasurer.
Right, but I don't think that...
Why bother re-electing you, y'all? You didn't do anything for us the last time we elected you. We got out the polls, and this time we're going to have to go out and